Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Cold Hard Truth podcast. My name is Srikar Rajendran, and today we got another game preview for you guys. And this game is between two division rivals, the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cleveland Browns. So, in this episode, I'm going to give some background, probably go over my X factors, players to watch for this game, and give my final pick at the end. Make sure you follow the socials down in the description. If you enjoy the video, please like and subscribe. We want to hit a goal of 400 subscribers soon, and we are well on track for that. We thank you guys for your support. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's start with the Browns here. So the Browns, you're in the playoffs for the first time since 2002. And in pure Cleveland fashion, it just looks like this opportunity is just crippling right in front of our eyes. It was announced on Monday that Kevin Stefanski, he tested positive for COVID-19. He's not going to be able to coach. And on top of that, Joel Bitonio, I think he's the most impactful offensive lineman on that team. He's the longest tenured one. He's also tested positive for the virus. He's going to miss the game as well. There's others on the exemption list, and at this moment, it's still unclear who all will be available for that Sunday night game. And although several players and coaches may not be available, it doesn't mean the Browns, you can't come away with the biggest win of the franchise since 1999. And I want to focus on two names here because for the Browns to win, two names will have to be the best players on either offense or defense. Let's start with the offense. The first name is Baker Mayfield. Baker must be the best offensive player for either side on Sunday night. It's a big ask with so much talent on both sides, including, going up against Ben Roethlisberger. While the challenge may be great, there is no doubt that Mayfield can accomplish this. I have been high on Mayfield all year. I've seen him make a lot of strides. I'd say he's a top 10 quarterback right now. I'd put him, right at eight or nine maybe. And the good news is this doesn't mean he's not going to have to throw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. All the Browns fans need him to do is complete 70% of his passes and not turn the ball over. Those are my two keys for Baker Mayfield. If he does that, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, they're going to take care of the rest. This is one of the best run games in the NFL. His biggest issue will be that Steelers pass rush, which I'll get into a bit. Mayfield, he's got to make quick decisions. Whoever's calling plays, I think it's Alex Van Pelt. He's got to call quick passes, and you got to go out to an early lead. The first sign to look for on Sunday is how Baker Mayfield's going to handle his first pressure. Does he take a sack? Does he force a throw? Or does he look comfortable? Does he find a way to make a completion, or does he throw it away? Dog pound. You got to pray it's the latter of the three. He's continued to improve throughout the season, though, so I'm really hoping that he shows up for the playoffs because I'm definitely rooting for the Browns here. The second name to watch, it's probably obvious on defense. It's Myles Garrett. Garrett, I think he's been one of the most dominant players in the league all year. But it appeared last week he had a slight injury that limited him. And it's tough to say if the coaches were saving him for this game or if the right arm is in that much discomfort. So that's kind of why I have him as an X factor. The key here, you have to outperform TJ Watt. And while TJ Watt has been slaying the Browns since he entered the league, I think the combination of Jack Conklin blocking him and Garrett going off for a huge game, that gives me confidence this can happen. It's all up to those two things. But no doubt about it. Myles Garrett, you got to be in Big Ben's face all day. You got to get at least one sack, maybe at least one strip sack. And if Garrett can get Big Ben uncomfortable early, it's going to make life easier on the defense. But that's all for the Browns side. On the Steelers side, with all of the injuries and COVID-19 cases surrounding Cleveland, Steelers are definitely going to have the upper hand here. I think the betting line was Steelers by just 3.5 points. But I think that's going to grow bigger as we approach game day. And as a unit, the Steelers should hold the competitive edge in this game. It's going to be a close contest for sure, but I think Pittsburgh has two guys. I'll go with the two-guy thing like I did with the Browns. One offense, one defense. Let's start with the defense. Cameron Hayward. And it hasn't been the most productive year for Cameron Hayward. I think it's his least productive in about 4. He had just 4 sacks, 7 tackles for a loss. And it's really Stephon Tuitt who's been emerging as, the interior D lineman getting after the quarterback most often for Pittsburgh. But I think Hayward's still been fantastic. According to PFF, he's finished the season as the 6th highest graded interior defender in the National Football League with an overall grade of 89.1. And normally Hayward would be going up against Joel Bitonio, but As I said before, he's not going to be playing in this game. So Wyatt Teller is probably going to be lining up on Stephon Tuitt. So Hayward's going to get an incredibly favorable matchup this week. I think the Browns were already without their two primary backups at guard in Chris Hubbard and Nick Harris. So he should be able to feed often this Sunday. But on offense, Big Ben. We just haven't seen Big Ben, take over games as often this year as he's done in previous years. But in week 16, that's exactly what he did in the second half against the Colts. He led that comeback. Mike Tomlin was able to rest some of his veterans as a result. And look at this. Big Ben's biggest win of the season, a 38-7 blowout, came against Cleveland in week 6. However, he didn't do much through the air in that contest, so he's going to be looking for a shot to improve on these numbers this Sunday. In that week 6 game, he went 14 of 22 for 162 yards and a touchdown. And as of today, 2 cornerbacks showed up on the injury report for Cleveland, and the Browns are going to be without Olivier Vernon after he ruptured his Achilles against the Steelers last week. And I say today, I mean it's Thursday, January 7th. And with an offense that's completely healthy, I think Roethlisberger holds the upper hand against Mayfield. I think he's a threat to take over in this game if he can get things going early. The Browns, they're not without a few playmakers of their own, which makes this hard. We've seen impressive stretches from those two names I mentioned, Myles Garrett and Baker Mayfield. But with Cameron Hayward, TJ Watt, and Big Ben all coming off a week of rest, I have no choice but to assume that these 3 guys are going to wreak havoc because this is a do or die game. It's just a must win. And in this case, I trust Big Ben, the veteran, more than Baker Mayfield, and I trust the well-rested Steelers more than the COVID-19 Browns, which leads me right into my pick. And I say it like the Steelers are going to win in a blowout, but come on, it's not going to be a blowout. The Browns are going to play them tough. And I'll never say that the Browns have no chance without Stefanski. But here's the thing, though. Over the past decade, the Steelers have routinely just owned Cleveland. And while these are different teams, I just think Pittsburgh remains the superior one right now. The Browns are obviously carrying more momentum, and I'm one to say that momentum is everything in the playoffs, but, COVID-19 just rattled them. And I think it's unfortunate for the dog pound. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to disrespect the Browns here, but I got Pittsburgh winning this game. And I won't say it's a blowout. I think Cleveland does keep it close. But yeah, that's my game preview for this week. I can't wait to watch it go down on Sunday night, the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cleveland Browns. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Follow the socials down in the description. And I'll see you guys on Super Wildcard Weekend. I cannot wait. It's going to be very exciting. And this has been Shrikar. I'll see you guys next time.